And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Antimatter Bandits. And I can't remember what episode number we're on. Marty, you're the math genius. Figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we've screwed up at some point because I think we had two episodes that were called episode 6. I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, as always, just a quick reminder that the views and opinions in this commentary are our own, not those of the copyright holders. And of course, this commentary is public domain, so feel free to share it about whatever way you want. We've decided to take a little break from TNG and Star Wars. It's basically, I think we started watching this recently out of, I don't know what possessed us to start watching this series recently. I think I've always held off actually watching it properly, and I kind of understand why. Because tonight we're going to the pilot episode of Star Trek Voyager.
Okay, bye.
He's rage quit already. No, we will see this because, I don't think it won't come as any surprise. The more and more you listen to our commentaries, we're not huge fans of Voyager. And yeah, you'll see that very soon. So yeah, if your media is all ready and queued, then in 3, 2, 1, we shall go. And here we go. Well, I suppose I'll hand over to you for your first memories of Voyager, first time you saw it.
Yeah, I think it must have been in like 97 or 98 or something. They started showing Voyager on Swedish TV.
Yeah, I think for me...
And it was... I just felt meh.
Did it get quite a big build-up in Sweden as well?
No.
It got quite a fair build-up in the UK, and if I remember right, it must have been... I can't remember. I think it was the 20th anniversary or something started. They had a special night on the BBC. Okay. And as kind of the end of the night, they were going to premiere this, and it had been built up. And I remember the science fiction magazines, they were saying, oh, this is kind of Battlestar Galactica for the 90s and all that. And it was nothing. It was built up so much, this, and it was just disappointing. You just... like, the principal feeling you get watching Voyager is potential wasted. That's near enough every episode.
Yeah, but basically I feel like the biggest problem with Voyager was it should never have been made in the first place. I mean, TNG was like, near the end of TNG, I just felt like they're running out of ideas. There's more and more technobabble bullshit, and it's kind of returning to the bad season 1 style almost, except better quality. Yeah. And then it was time to end the series, and DS9 was doing its thing with the political stuff and characters and with relationships and, good storytelling. And then they started doing Voyager, which was basically TNG with all the political stuff and all the character stuff removed. So it was just one ship flying from place to place. We've already run out of those ideas.
Yeah. And I think also the reason they went with Voyager was they thought that kind of Deep Space Nine didn't get the ratings they were hoping for.
Yeah.
Because like TNG got sky-high ratings, and then Deep Space Nine became for a niche audience, and they thought, it's the setting or something like that. But it was just because I think it was the quality was so good, and it involved... You had to really think to get into Deep Space Nine. You had to stick with it.
It
required quite a lot, and it just wasn't for a casual viewer. But they stupidly thought, it's not. It's because it's on a space station. That's why most people aren't watching it.
Well, I think that's one thing that turned off a lot of Trek fans. Yeah. I mean, that's what turned me off initially from DS9. When I first saw DS9, I felt like, what the hell is this? I mean, it's like they take Star Trek and then remove all the good stuff. I mean, what the hell? But you had to stay with it to see that it's so much more well-written and it tells much better stories.
And characters that grow and evolve and...
Exactly, and I had friends who basically hated Star Trek, but they loved DS9. Yeah.
But anyway, they would go the first appearance of the Maquis in this. And again, to compare it to Deep Space Nine, only had 4 Maquis episodes, and they developed the Maquis more than Voyager could in 7 years.
Yeah.
In fact, in this first episode, they've got the Maquis, and then they just kind of homogenize them to nothing by the end of the episode.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, like you said, wasted potential.
Yeah.
They could have done something with that. I think I've mentioned it to you in the past. I think what they should have done was have Chakotay and Janeway sort of vying for control of the ship or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think I mentioned this, but I think it would have been better with Janeway as the first officer initially, and she takes the captain's chair because the captain dies in the pilot, so she's inexperienced, and you get this. And you could actually have Chakotay be the experienced officer who quit Starfleet.
Yeah, and it creates struggle.
Yeah, and because that would have been more interesting. And they both kind of feel like, I really want to kill the other one, but we have to work together for our common good. That could have been interesting, but they wasted that.
Yeah, and the one good thing, the score at the start.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Hey. And the Lord of we're in the Shire now. The ankle bracelets, they make an appearance again in this, later on. And this is so totally not the character he played in TNG at all.
Yeah, same actor.
And here we're introduced to herself.
No, and we hear the voice.
The voice and having to stand on a pedestal.
Be quiet and stop smoking.
But it's that and the weird posturing she always does through the series.
I wonder if that's the direction or if it's just Mulgrew.
I don't know. The interviews I've seen, she seems to be a fairly laid-back person, but then again... Yeah, just the whole... I mean, SF Debris pointed out how ridiculous she looks right now walking like this.
Yeah.
And also, one of the first big things of Voyager is just when you actually analyse the plots, they're nonsensical.
Oh, yeah.
So basically here, she's gone all the way to Earth, and I think we know that Earth is days away from Deep Space Nine to speak to Tom Paris, wait for his decision, and then go all the way back. Whereas you think they would just wait at Deep Space Nine and have Tom Paris go on a shuttle there.
Right.
Because then they save half a journey, and if he says no, they can just take off then.
Yeah.
Yeah, always hamper the mission. But that's still not Janeway's worst trait. There's many, many more which will be readily apparent.
There's the psychotic stuff.
Yeah, that's just bad writing again.
Yeah.
They were so desperate to make her seem a strong female lead that they just... It comes across as an authoritarian, autocratic dictatorship on the crew.
Yeah, and that was something I think they did so well in DS9, where Sisko was the captain. Oh, he happens to be black, but he's the captain.
Yeah.
It was never, he's the black captain.
Yeah.
But this seems like, okay, Janeway's a woman, so she has to be the super strong female lead.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work. It's just, they shouldn't have made a big deal of it, Yeah. Okay, she's the captain. Oh, yeah, she's a woman. Yeah, who cares?
And another thing you find out is that Tom Paris is the one competent person on Voyager. And yet they never actually use those skills.
Well, there's the Doctor, too.
Mm-hmm. No, but as you go on, Tom Paris has all these amazing abilities that you find out.
Yeah, I guess. But so does Chakotay, on the other hand, but they always just pull it out of their ass.
Yeah.
And here's the, I'm a Betazoid, so I have to do a Troy impression.
I've never considered Betazoids warm or sensual. He's never met Laxwana, has he? He wouldn't be saying that. He'd be running.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible. And here we're introduced to the worst ship in Starfleet.
The only ship that has ever been disabled by cheese.
Yeah. 50, a crew complement of 100. Yes, bioneural, sorry. This.
Yeah, and they actually make that a point here, bringing it up, because, hey, yeah, we're gonna do so much fun with that. It is mentioned once in the entire series, I think. And that's only because the ship gets disabled by cheese.
It's these great things. They've only got 20 spares as well. And they can't be replicated.
And they have no backup system. And they can't just switch back to normal circuits.
You even have Chakotay saying, we could switch everything over to ordinary isolinear, and it won't make a difference to the performance of the ship. And of course, they never do that. And here, the most pathetic man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's another thing you can understand. Maybe they were setting Harry Kim up. He's going to be the Green, very nervous. He was pressured into all of this. And then he becomes friends with Paris. Paris the rebel, and, he gets, Harry to discover himself, become confident. But, again, he never changes.
Exactly.
And as you discover, as the series goes on, he's one seriously messed up individual, Harry.
Oh, yeah. I think that's, the only thing they don't reset after every episode is when 7 comes along.
Yeah.
Now, okay, they switch the chick to one with a bigger tits. That's it, and they stick to that. But other than that, I think everything resets.
Pretty much.
No, Paris and B'Elanna, their relationship isn't reset.
And the Doctor does grow as a character to some degree.
Yeah, that's true. But Harry never grows as a character.
And he's one of the first actors to ever publicly I think Robert Beltran, who plays Chakotay, it was the first time on a Trek show that an actor publicly spoke out about how awful things were.
Yeah.
And Quark. This is going to be the highlight of Voyager for the 7 years. Yep. And also, Harry is incredibly gullible.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't compare to when his sex life is hinted at, that it's one really, I think even Troy wouldn't go there with him. I mean, it makes Reg Barclay look like Ron Jeremy, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. And he has a nightmare where he gets kissed by a woman and wakes up screaming.
A woman he's been after. Kisses her and he's traumatized. Another thing to point out in the background. This ship has just launched. The Doctor's here. And there's somebody seriously ill already. I think it's just kind of why Voyager's just screwed from the start. And surely they're still docked at Deep Space Nine. Would they not just send him to Bashir? They have because Bashir's got a proper medical bay down there, a full. Like, you think a space station would have a better equipped sick bay than a starship.
Yeah. And why the hell is he made operations officer? He's fresh out of the academy. He's an ensign. They've got more qualified people on board now. I mean, okay, fine, put him on the night shift maybe, but...
Yeah.
Oh. There's something else that's... I think it's brought up once that Janeway actually has a relationship. I don't even know if she's married to this guy or...
No.
If they're just dating or whatever.
Yeah, but you see here, she has complete authoritarian control over the guy.
Yeah.
it's just... He even seems kind of trying to be relaxed in her presence, but he's terrified of her.
Yeah.
On that view screen, he just looks...
Yeah, it seems like it. It's just...
Yes, this is pathetic Harry. And also, Harry is Janeway's
bitch.
Yeah, quite literally. I was thinking of, but yeah, she enjoys basically torturing Harry all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's one thing, like in Deep Space Nine, it was Chief O'Brien, he got tortured all the time. But it's nothing compared to what Harry came through. Ooh, everyone hates Tom.
Yeah, that's such a professional attitude.
Yeah.
Bitch. You can't do anything right. You suck.
Yeah. So is that actually what they brought Tom along for, just to stand on the bridge?
I think so.
Yeah, and the design of the ship, it's just another Enterprise.
Yeah.
There was no imagination put in here at all.
Yeah, they do have this sort of tech Bible thing where, they have to have the saucer and the nacelles because of how the technology is supposed to work. And I kind of like how they developed
you would think that,
but it's,
Starfleet would have a guidance on how to design the ships, but...
Yeah, but it's still, I know what you mean. There's just no imagination there.
Don't know, was this a humor or something like that? I don't know.
I think it might be. I don't know. It's not funny.
Yep, everybody really hates Tom. We've got to keep emphasizing this for a while. Because it's going to be
in this episode.
Yeah, it's going to be very important until the end of this episode.
Yeah.
And then it's never brought up ever again. Yep, he's totally not the character from who did the exact same thing in the TNG episode.
Well, that was the point. They wanted the same character, but they wanted to change the name so they wouldn't have to pay royalties every single episode. And I guess I kind of get that, but it's still just... if you can't get permission to use the character without having to pay for it, just do something else.
Yeah, stay away from me, Harry. Is that kind of foreshadowing what their relationship's going to be? Basically a very kind of not so subtle homoeroticism between the two of them.
Yeah, there are some episodes that are...
questionable in that area, to say the least. Oh, the Cardassians. Oh, they did make an appearance in the start of it.
Yeah.
Savor that as well. It's the one decent villain they encounter. Well, they do encounter the Borg, but we all see what they do to the Borg.
Version of the Borg. That was another one of these problems that you have with the series necessarily. I mean, if you're gonna be in the Delta Quadrant, you have to make the Borg a recurring villain, and the Borg are specifically meant for, season-ending cliffhangers and stuff like that. They're the super powerful villain that just... They're supposed to be undefeatable, except with, really... Yeah, like in Best of Both Worlds, there's a trick that they have to find to beat one ship.
Yeah.
It's just... You can't make them the new Klingons. It's not going to work. So, of course, they ruin the Borg.
Yep. Here we are.
Another ship with one of those wonderful consoles that explode.
Oh, and Janeway's hair is messed up. Something must be bad. Yeah, I love when they actually find out what's happened to he's meant to be the proper doctor. His cause of death, what it's given us. Because they do actually say he died from an exploding console.
Yeah.
They don't even try and hide it in any way.
Yeah. On the other side of the galaxy, and no creepy, half-suspected pedophile there to help us out. Damn it.
It's the Delta Quadrant there, isn't it? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas the wormhole goes to the Gamma. I was always trying to remember that.
And oh yeah, Tom had to go there because he took 2 semesters of biochemistry, right?
Yep.
So
there you go.
He
was
knows
right next.
Yeah.
Right next to the console when it exploded. And here we go. Just shouting lots of things. And she even took the time to fix her hair in between all this. And it's trying to generate tension here, but they're just shouting techno. And here's the one saving grace of Voyager.
Yeah.
The Doctor. He's the only character that grows, and as you'll note, he's pretty much the voice of the audience a lot of the time.
Yeah. And a funny actor.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, Harry is stupid.
Yeah. He's incompetent. Oh.
Yeah, order Harry around. Clean him up, bitch.
It's like I say, it was supposed to be tension here. Like,
Yeah, it's just
it's the one.
I don't know. They have pulled stuff like this off on TNG. With the I think it was in the early part of TNG when they actually did manage to make technobabble create tension, but a lot of it had to do with the music, I think.
Yeah, and it's just overdoing it as well.
Yeah,
it's just so overdone
definitely.
here.
Yeah. Who is he contacting?
How can he contact anyone? Ugh, and this.
Oh man, this scene.
And why does everybody, every single one of them has to have a tricorder?
Well, of course.
I mean, unless this implies that tricorders are only useless like to, I don't know, 30 centimeters or something.
You know, I could have figured that out myself, Harry.
Yeah. So we've seen in episodes of TNG, they land on a planet and they take out the tricorder and they get readings on the planet's atmosphere from one tricorder. But yet in this scene, one of them can walk off and detect something that someone else hasn't.
Oh yeah, that's true. And right here, when I saw this the first time, it was like, okay, so when's someone gonna break out a banjo?
Yeah.
And there it is!
And see, a beautiful woman flirted with Harry and he just frowned as she walked away. Oh yes, and they have to do country dancing.
Well, of course. And I'm not buying this, they just don't look inbred enough.
Wouldn't you just be able to detect that with a tricorder, a holographic generator? You know, if you can figure out a planet's atmosphere, finding a piece of machinery shouldn't be difficult.
We don't mean you any harm. We just want to poke you and prod you and steal some genetic whatsits from you and probably do some anal probing and whatever.
Yep, here we go.
And oh yeah, we kidnapped you, but we don't mean you any harm.
Synchronized tricorder walking here.
I wonder where they got the tricorders, though. I mean, they didn't have them.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just beamed out. They don't walk around with those tricorders, do they?
Paris is the only one acting like a normal human being there. Ah yes, it's always in the barn. Whenever there's a barn, there's nothing good in it. That just goes in fiction, doesn't it? Because when I watched this, I was watching all this kind of. I was thinking, oh, next thing you know, they're going to have the pitchforks out. I mean, if they're going to be that cliche about all this, then
yeah, pitchforks and maybe shotguns.
Yeah. Yep. Why do you have to get your tricorder out for that? It's just like they can't do anything without a tricorder, these morons.
Well, without a tricorder, you might bump into someone, and there's the pitchfork!
Is there anyone with a shotgun? I can't. No, they didn't go that far.
Nah, I don't think so.
Dun dun dun.
That was not a good green screen effect.
No. That's one of those that could have been achieved by building 2 pods and then just using mirrors. And would have looked much better.
Yeah, probably.
Save this, at least it's faster paced than Encounter at Farpoint is.
Yeah. Well, it looks uncomfortable.
Yeah. And who has to wake up during this horrible procedure and get nightmare, get traumatized again? Yes, listeners, you can figure that one out yourselves. Something painful and traumatic is going to happen. You just know.
It's the bitch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tom's concerned about Harry already. Yeah, it's one other thing got to point out, the size of that Maquis ship, and then how many Maquis actually end up on Voyager.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Where the hell are they all?
And we're never really told how many they are. I think.
Like I said, we never really discussed Chakotay. Well, this is proper introduction as such, but there's nothing to do. He's the most bland character you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, he's just...
He's there. That's
it. And there's always this... oh, by the way, did we mention he's Native American?
Yeah.
So they just... They get pretty racially insensitive here.
Yeah.
And of course, they never tell us which tribe he's from, so they can use whatever stereotype they want.
Is he not meant to be a vegetarian as well?
I don't know.
Can't remember. No, I think they did. Yeah, he does say he's a vegetarian, but again, that doesn't last too long in Voyager. It varies episode to episode. Yep.
So none at all.
What is Janeway doing there? It's a bizarre position to rub up against Chakotay like that. Or is it just because she's not on a pedestal above him right now? It's the only... She's got to intimidate him some
maybe.
way.
And they failed miserably in that case.
Yeah. How did Tuvok figure out all this?
He's Vulcan.
Yeah, we never spoke about Tuvok yet, but he's basically Mr. Exposition all the time, isn't he?
Yeah.
They just said, well, he's a Vulcan, he figures stuff out. The barest minimum of information.
And I never got Tuvok, really. I mean, is he just supposed to be a Spock copy? I mean, yeah, he's Vulcan, but it's like he has no personality of his own.
Yeah.
I mean, I think horrible thought. I think even T'Pol was done better.
She had some kind of character traits. They weren't pleasant in any way, but
no, but
they were character traits.
Yeah, she wasn't just, generic Vulcan.
It's the strangest thing. I have seen Tim Ross in interviews.
Yeah.
And, he is a really funny guy in real life.
Oh.
Like, if you ever watch the outtakes, he's hilarious.
I think I've seen a blooper reel at some point, but yeah.
No, but in all his interviews, he's one of the funniest guys you could ever meet, and I don't know, were they thinking they could harness that into the cap? I just don't know.
Mm.
What is it with Maquis fashion? I mean, you can't even say it's the 90s. That's just not any decade what Chakotay's wearing.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, Picard would have convinced him already.
Yeah. See, the Janeway pose adopted, stand over him, hands on hips and glare.
Translation, I am going to kill him, not you.
Yeah. And I've always noticed in a lot of Voyager, Tom Paris, he's standing in the background like he is right now with the look of, I could have fixed this already if you'd let me. Why is he talking in riddles?
Yeah,
Why does
and if the debt can't be repaid, stop trying to repay it. I mean, he's not making sense. I must honor a debt that can't be repaid. It's just nonsensical.
Yeah. Sending you back is complicated, but as you find out at the end of the episode, they figure out how it could be done. And another useless alien race, the Ocampa. They're not annoying, they're just like so much in Voyager, just utterly forgettable.
I don't know if they're forgettable. It's just horribly stupid. I mean, as we find out later, they live for like 9 years.
Yep.
And there are so many problems with that, it's just silly.
This is the opposite thing of what Voyager does, trying to establish a character trait and they go over the top.
Yeah.
B'Elanna's hot-headed, but in this episode she can't do a single rational thing.
Yeah. Well, she has to be extremely ill-tempered, because oh yeah, she's Klingon.
Half Klingon.
Yeah, well, they
even though it was established in TNG with I can't remember the name of Worf's original partner.
Kalar.
Yeah, she's half Klingon, and she had no problems at all.
Exactly.
She was in fact a diplomat.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of Klingons you meet through the series who've got no problems with their temper at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Exposition, see?
Mm.
Or was Tuvok meant to be like Data or something like that?
Well, that's the weird thing. He's supposed to be the chief of security.
So why is he doing all the science stuff? Right?
Yeah. Well, because technically Harry would be the one who's supposed to do that, right? And
it's a science vessel. They're all scientists supposed to.
Yeah, a voice out of nowhere. There you go. You might hear that's a kind of.
That's our stalker who can no longer keep his mouth shut.
Yes, he just couldn't. He's a defender of Voyager. And he's gone. See there. Get used to that, folks, when we do our Voyager commentaries. Whenever he gets so pissed off with us, he'll just come out of nowhere to scold us. Left his clarinet behind. Why would she know all this about Harry? He played in a... Maybe, mind you, maybe it's setting up that she knows how to torture him. How to inflict severe psychological trauma on him at any moment.
No, it's not. It's not a fine crew. They suck.
They are all useless. Just to say, if this is a science vessel, it's just a terrible vessel, whatever class it is.
Yeah.
So she spoke to Tuvok's family as well. Is that all? Maybe that's all she did while they were transporting Tom to Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
She was psychologically profiling the crew to figure out how she could impose her Reich on everyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and this is something that's been noted before. Does Janeway or Mulgrew have a short-man syndrome?
Yeah. That would be interesting to know.
That's her other pose, the arms across the chest. Oh no. Oh God, no. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Just go through this junkyard. Oh no. If only. This show could have gone up points if it... Oh, it's too late. I think even Janeway knows what's coming here. And there you have it.
No!
No! What can you say about Neelix? That won't turn it. He is... I think someone said he makes Jar Jar Binks look like Morgan Freeman. I have no idea what they were trying to go for. I mean, I think they were trying to make another Quark character here.
Yeah. He was supposed to be the one that gives the outside perspective on the human condition or whatever.
He's meant to be a rogue and all this, but he failed so miserably with us.
Yeah.
He's an egotistical, self-centered, psychotic, jealous,
Annoying, stupid, useless piece of shit.
Yeah. He claims to be an expert cook. Everyone hates his food. He claims to be a survival expert. He gets members of the crew killed.
Yeah.
And also, it's so funny with the Vulcan on board when Tuvok wants to is doubting his Vulcan resolve. He sets up a simulation with Neelix to test it, and he fails. That's how annoying.
Which indicates that the authors know how annoying he is. So this was... I can only assume that they did this on purpose.
And he's just irritating. He's the indefensible.
Yeah.
I've seen people on forums try and defend Neelix, but you can't.
No.
It's so because Ethan Phillips, he's a good actor. I've seen him in a lot of films, and he's
it's not his fault.
And I have to say, I think most of the actors said they played it the way they were told to.
Yeah.
I mean, they followed their direction as best they could. So there's no water, but they've got spaceships.
Yeah.
They can't make water. Oh, God.
And what's interesting is that, I mean, they're breathing oxygen. Hydrogen is the most common element in the universe. They have technology. They don't need replicators to make water under those conditions.
There should be water a planet away, surely.
Yeah.
Or you could mine for it.
Yeah, or just... I mean...
There'll be ice planets, comets...
You can just... combine hydrogen and oxygen. It's done in chemistry labs all the time. It's not difficult. Oh, running gag, everyone.
Yeah.
Mr. Vulcan.
And it's great how Tuvok's patience is tested already with him. Come on, Tuvok. You can say a transporter accident. No one will know.
Mm-hmm.
Or care. Doesn't know what a bath is. I'm sure maybe they've got a different word for him in Talax, but I think any species would know how to wash any sentient one.
Yeah, hygiene tends to be something useful.
Yeah. Yep. Let's establish B'Elanna's hot-headed, just have her. This is rare for Harry's acting. Fairly calm in the presence of a fairly attractive woman here.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Or is it maybe because he's going to get beaten by her? It could end his shame now. Oh, here we go. Well-handled exposition.
Because we hadn't figured anything out by looking at the forehead.
Or her surname. Well, no, it's her first name's Klingon, isn't it? B'Elanna.
Yeah, well, it could be. And she's about to kick someone's ass.
She just turns right into a fighting stance because the door opened. Yes, I'm shouting. I'm hot-headed. I've got to drill it. As long as you're not violent. Well, she already was. Why are you saying that to her now? You know she's violent. Yep. The Ocampa living in...
Yeah, I'm surprised B'Elanna doesn't point out that she can't eat this. It's not alive.
Yeah. They basically live in a giant airport departure lounge, these people.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, you know, when it got warm.
Yep.
The name kind of gives it away.
A desert planet. So there used to be water on this planet. But wait for the reason they give.
There should still be water there, just maybe not in liquid form, but, you know, using a little bit of, I don't know, technology, you could easily fix that.
What's with these weird face masks?
They couldn't afford prosthetics. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the only distinguishing feature of the Ocampa is the ears, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just better than it just being a few forehead wrinkles. That's what.
Yeah, that's been done.
Voyager got its reputation for forehead of the week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see what they were trying to do with this, but it's so badly handled.
Which they didn't have until he gave it to them.
Yeah. How many Ocampa are there? Is that ever stated?
I don't think so.
Because by the looks of the size of this place, there's not a huge population of them.
No, there can't be.
And if they...
World population they meet when the other caretaker appears is about 200, 300.
Oh, well, that would explain a lot.
So, and if they live for 9 years, they would inbreed themselves into extinction pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well, it's explained that the other ones live to about
14
years.
That doesn't really change all that much.
Yeah,
and that's the weird part with them, because, I mean, they're supposed to be, like, adults, but, I mean, they have the intelligence of adults, but I mean, most of those would be, what, 2, 3?
Yeah.
How? I mean, at least they explain the Jemadar. I mean, they have all this knowledge in their genetics. I don't know how the hell that's supposed to work, but they at least try to explain it.
Oh, God. Yeah, because this is how people who are starved of water and food always behave when they get some. Like complete selfish assholes.
And, what is the target audience for Star Trek? Well, isn't it like, you know, male nerds?
Yeah.
So who do we want to see in a bathtub? I don't know, we could put B'Elanna or Kes, who hasn't appeared yet, but you know, we definitely don't want to see Janeway, but
again, this shows the competence of Starfleet. They picked up this unknown alien they've never encountered before, and they give him quarters and full access to replicators.
Yeah. Well, of course.
But the thing is, he's eaten all that food, and then it's later explained they shall replicate, they have to ration everything. So it's just, he's even more of an asshole.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But, of course, at this point, they figured they could just use the array to get home.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Come on, Tuvok. Yes, in the back.
Neelix's fashion sense is hilarious. I mean, he's wearing curtains for a couch.
A hedgehog wearing curtains.
Yeah.
That's basically...
He looks like a walking couch.
Yep, and there's more of Neelix being an asshole.
Oh, yeah.
He deliberately lied and got them into this very... Well, it's the K-Zone. It's questionable if this is a dangerous situation or not dealing with these folk. Yeah, I think this has got to be one of the worst alien races ever conceived in Star Trek.
Yeah, what were they supposed to be? Cavemen? I mean, they're one of those, like, how can they be this primitive and this obviously stupid, but
and their justice system is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
We're sentencing you to a life behind a line on the floor you can't walk across.
Yeah, but despite that, they are still an interstellar civilization. It just makes no sense.
They don't have any water.
Even Klingons have smart people.
Yeah.
I mean, we keep having this whole warrior culture shoved into our faces, but every now and then, yes, we do see a Klingon scientist. And they're smart.
And there's Klingon poets and philosophers and things like that. They're mentioned, but...
And these people are just...
idiots.
Yeah. Good question.
And here's... Yeah.
But clearly... Oh... But evidently they can get back. So,
See, this is... Neelix becomes an even bigger asshole now.
Yeah.
Because the Kazon are willing to let her go. They're not interested. They're more interested in the technology. And he still decides to blow everything up. The master negotiator. So yeah, you've led this complete bunch of strangers into potential death here.
Yep. As SF3 points out, he's a shithead. Kill him.
Why is Kes with this guy? I mean, she must be naive.
Yeah.
I'm sure. God, Harry's actually still behaving reasonable around this woman. 'Cause, 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 'cause,
And as is being pointed out in our little chat window now, the reason Kes is so naive is obviously that she's 2. But that only leads to more trouble, because that seems to indicate that the Ocampa are like children.
Yes.
I mean, she learns, like, she seems to have taken, like, classes in medicine and whatever. Like, how did she have...
She can do hydroponics.
Yeah, she can do all these things that clearly mean that she has years and years of education. Okay, fine. Okay, so there's super fast learners or whatever. Fine, but then she shouldn't be this stupid. She shouldn't be so naive then.
And also, as it's established that she's 2 years old, and then later it's established that she's not anywhere near Ocampan childbearing age, this makes Neelix a paedophile.
Oh, yeah.
To add to all his other shining qualities.
Oh, so that's how they're going to get home. They have a pedophile aboard now. And for those who didn't get that reference, that was a reference to The Traveler. I think everyone got it, though.
Yeah, but still, at least The Traveller was a teenage boy, which probably not any better, but it's more excusable than a 2-year-old alien.
Well, it works for Catholic priests.
Yeah, Grace will rationalise. Irrational, we're alive. Yeah.
So,
yeah, Kes is introduced here. She's not a bad character as such, really.
she's just...
She's not annoying or anything, but she's another one who's just there.
Yeah, she's pointless.
Why is she going out to Neelix? Yes, please go, please. You didn't really rescue her, Neelix. It did. Without them, you would not have rescued her. That's a pretty shitty looking prop.
Yeah.
That. How did they learn how to do hydroponics when they only live 9 years?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the caretaker can give them the equipment, but you still need to understand horticulture and things like that, and plant life.
Yeah, they just haven't had time to do that. They would have to be geniuses, every single one, and we don't see that.
Didn't they say it was really difficult to get in here, and now they've just appeared? Hands on the hips again, Janeway.
Exposition, exposition.
Yes. Oh, we never had super mental capabilities that develop later in life. That's just total nonsense.
she knows so much at only 2 years old. She just absorbed it from other people.
Still.
Of this Enlightenment metaphor.
It's a very, very poor religion metaphor, this episode.
Yeah. On the subject of poor religion metaphors, there's also the late season 1 DS9 episode where they I don't know I don't remember what it's called, but when they do this is not at all a reference to the intelligent design thing.
Oh, that one. That's the end of the first season of DS9.
Teach the controversy about the wormhole.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, Harry, you've walked up 10 steps and you're exhausted.
In the hands of the prophets is the episode we're referring to.
Here we go. That's it, Harry. You'll always look on the bright side. That does kind of say a lot about his mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, she dropped out the academy. And the weird thing is, Janeway kind of gives an explanation as to why she dropped out the academy. Because it's a weird thing. Janeway can still get all of these people's files.
Yeah,
how much information do you need on a ship's computer?
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you could maybe say she would need some information for the Maquis, but you wouldn't have their school report cards.
It doesn't really make sense.
It's implied that the Federation keeps all information. That's how they have all the other ships' captains.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That makes the Federation sound really authoritarian.
Yeah, but...
Yes, but
because
if you
it's
think
that,
of the
and
rates
also
that computer power is predicted to increase, we've already got computers that can hold the whole internet.
But then it's also established on Voyager they monitor your brain waves all the fucking time. Which kind of... it's leading up to Janeway's monumentally stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Have they mentioned, I don't know, we might have missed the scene where they say why there isn't any water on this planet? Or is that later?
I don't know.
But anyway, why do you think there's a desert planet? I mean, lack of what? Lack of what causes a desert?
Water?
No. Nucleogenic particles. Yeah. I know you're a science teacher, Marty, but you just got to know these things. I mean, I think you should really, for a semester, try and teach some students Voyager science. Especially like with the episode that comes after this, try doing a physics class based on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Tom, run to save Harry. There's nothing gay about it at all. Of course, if there's a rickety old staircase, the place has to be shaking while you're climbing it. I thought they said they can beam through to the underground caverns.
Quantum. Can always explain everything in Voyager with quantum.
Or subspace.
Yeah.
Subspace does anything. Really? If Alana and Harry have been struggling with this monumental staircase.
Well, that says a lot about Harry.
Yeah. Yes, Harry. He sounds shocked that he's actually got a friend in this universe now, Harry. A friend?
So it probably does nothing.
Yeah. Judging by the effects, they should have had their kneecaps taken off the two of them there. The way they climbed through it.
Yeah.
And here we are. It's just no tension in this.
No.
You gave Neelix a phaser already. And he's got a comm badge. You just met that guy.
And he's already tried to get you all killed once.
Ah, yes, phasers. They can blow a hole in a cave, and then another time they'll just give you a scratch in the arm.
Yeah.
Say they've got settings.
Yeah, but it's usually the same settings that do different things. That's the problem. Like all
The thing
the
is, they're never consistent with the settings.
the
in Star
bad guys
Trek.
always have everything set to kill, but when they hit a main character straight in the chest, he just gets the wind knocked out of him.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where it's fair play to Deep Space Nine, where Nog actually lost his
Yeah.
leg. Yep, what I tell you. How did they ever figure out that it's free to beam up from one comm badge signal?
I don't know.
I've never really got that one.
And I never got why the transporter effect looks different.
Yeah. Well, maybe a
Voyager.
new ship, maybe new transporters.
Yeah, well, they never mention. I mean, you'd expect them to at least give some explanation, like this is the
Of
this
course,
is the
who
Mark
has to go and
47
rescue
transporter.
Chakotay?
You know?
Who could rescue? Oh, they're genius writers. Who could rescue Chakotay but the guy who really hates him and he hates?
And also, does this scene remind you of something? Someone on a bridge-looking thing that's about to collapse,
Yeah.
made around the same time as this episode. I'll give you a hint. He did not make it. Yeah, right.
Yep. Yep, throwing a little mild racism there, Tom. That's great. Yes, they hate each other. We get the picture. Go on. You've got to remember this hatred because it's going to be relevant for another good 15 minutes. left of this episode.
Yeah.
And of course it collapses just, yeah. Oh, and here it's building up to them being stranded, which when you think about it, it was just Janeway being dumb.
Yeah. Extremely.
Really. Yeah. Oh, if it wasn't for the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Red
and the
alert!
light.
Switch the lighting so that no one can see anything.
Oh. This is awful. Hands on the hips again, Janeway.
Really? Would have fooled me.
Yep. And here's the Janeway solution to everything now. Just blow it apart.
Okay, so someone should actually make a list of these evasive patterns. It seems like evasive pattern Delta 4 means go straight ahead.
And fire a few shots. And the other thing in Star Trek that always kind of really bothered me was they just seem to type on a keyboard to steer a ship.
Yeah.
Like there's no joystick or control stick or anything like that. I mean, space shuttles have them, and
Or even like directional keys on the keyboard or something like that.
even if they were sat there with a keyboard and mouse, it would still be
Yeah.
makes a little bit more sense than just hammering away at a touch screen.
He had a
Yeah, the
joystick.
manual steering column. Because we can't call it a joystick or a control stick or something like that. We have to make up a stupid sounding name for it.
It's not science fiction sounding, you know.
Yeah. But we've already established that you can't complete your work. You said so. In a few years they'll do that anyway, so what's the point?
Yeah.
So do something sensible and send them home, you stupid moron.
Or if you want them to survive, you could send them back with a Maquis and Voyager too.
Yeah, that's another point.
I mean, if there's only 200 of them there, I mean, I'm sure it would be cramped, but I'm sure they could manage it in Voyager. Can't remember, did they actually find this other caretaker?
Yeah, they do.
Alright. Does it actually do anything for them when they find it?
No.
No, alright. Yep. He just wants to get laid. That's it. Or couldn't you transport the Ocampa to another planet far away? Oh, none of this makes any sense. Yes. Yeah, I think this is actually kind of foreboding what Janeway's nurturing skills are like. They're children, but just leave them on the wild on their own. They'll be alright. It's another weird death by console. Actually, get your face. You face desked. Yeah, because the other thing, got to realize, not only did they transport all the Maquis over at this point, but also all of Chakotay's weird Indian medicine wheel stuff.
Yeah.
Balana's Klingon stuff and all that. And don't say they because they go to great lengths to explain in the next few episodes they can't use the replicators too much. There's a shortage.
There's coffee in that nebula.
Let's not go there yet. That's a long way off. Why does he need to keep highlighting this here? It seems to be...
Well, you see...
The momentum would carry it there, wouldn't it?
He has to go in a straight line, so someone has to push the go in a straight line button, I guess.
And he's in the vacuum of space, and even though momentum will do it nicely, he has to sit there and scream and go out at the last second. So, it was supposed to be beyond anyone to use this, but Tuvok figures it out with one tricorder scan. Why doesn't she just ask, can you just delay the self-destruct until we get out of here? That's another option. There's so many options open to Janeway here, apart from destroy it. He says, yeah, he did say, I've set it for minutes. She could have just asked, can you set it for a few hours?
Yeah.
No, we can take, we can... Even then, if the K-Zone do board it after, Voyager can alert the Federation to be waiting for the K-Zone on the Alpha. Oh, bloody hell. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Starfleet is fucking retarded.
Not their problem.
The Prime Directive doesn't apply. Tuvok is right here.
Yeah.
None of this is anything to do with Voyager.
And when she says we didn't ask to be involved, you're not involved.
Considering in 4 episodes' time when Tom Paris points out a civilization is going to be annihilated, Janeway just says, we can't get involved.
Yeah.
Yes, Tuvok's right.
Yeah. Yes, it would.
It's 200 elves. That's all you're seeing.
And you are not involved. If you hadn't been there, nothing would have been different.
No, you're not, Janeway. Stop saying that. What are the Tricobot devices again?
Big ass nukes or something.
Yeah.
Conveniently stored on Voyager. And we will never mention them again.
Yeah. That's not what you're doing, Janeway. Yep, Chakotay's already...
And she's committing an illegal action, so
Yeah.
you are not allowed to obey the order.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and we see Chakotay's put his balls into Janeway's purse already.
Yeah.
Where they will
For
always
no
remain.
reason.
Yeah. It's Janeway's fault.
Yeah.
Why don't you shoot at them then, Kazon? There's more of them than there is of Voyager. You could have killed them there and then.
But they want the replicators.
Well, they could have had them if they just kept kicking their ass.
If there's these big, huge ships, and would be willing to bet they could board Voyager.
Which they do in a later episode.
They could cripple
anyway.
it and force it to surrender.
Yeah, and they do that later anyway. So I mean,
unless Janeway's so psychotic, she'll let them destroy the ship over water. But then again, Janeway probably is that psychotic. Yeah, everyone's friends now. And here. So she's going to grant him a field commission, and he gets straight up to lieutenant. Not an ensign, acting ensign, or... Because you see, that would have made sense if she'd said, look, I'll make you an acting ensign if you behave yourself, and it would be Tom. He'd be learning to behave himself and all that, but no.
Well, we can't have Harry outrank anyone.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't done a damn thing.
Yeah. The one competent person on this ship, and they never use him for anything. Yes, Neelix, just run in there.
Kill them now.
Just kill them.
No.
No, it won't be. No, he can't guide.
No.
No, he doesn't know how to get supplies. No, he doesn't have friends. Everyone in this quadrant that sees
no one
Neelix
likes your
hates him.
cooking. And you fail consistently at it. My point.
And you're really horrible at relations. God, look at Kes's body language when he put the arm round. I don't know if that was intentional by...
I don't know.
What? I can't remember the actress's name, sorry.
Jennifer Lane.
Yeah. And here's the inspirational speech. We've already made some friends.
No.
Oh, uniforms and comm badges all around. There's them. No,
so forget that whole
I don't
Maquis
think
thing.
he agreed to that. I think you just told him and said that would be it.
And that makes no sense. Why would you explore? You're supposed to go home.
Yep, you're not willing to settle that, but you'll stop and poke at every single anomaly you come across.
Did she just say that warp 9.5 take them a year to travel?
No,
A light
it's 70,000 light years, 75 years, they said, travelling at maximum warp.
10,000 light years.
It's 9.95, I think, Voyager's maximum is.
It's supposed to be an experimental ship.
But they never use those high velocities anyway.
Yeah. And as for her saying, we'll obtain new technologies, she changes her mind every week on whether to do that or not.
Yeah.
The same with alliances and basically everything.
Yeah.
It's just whatever her mood fancies. Yep, that's as disappointing as you remember it being.
Yeah.
You only saw it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's underwhelming.
But it's just so more frustrating because even when I first saw that pilot, I thought, well, it was disappointing, but I can see what they're trying to set up.
Yeah, I mean, it is pilot, and pilot episodes usually aren't that great.
Yeah, they're trying to set up, they're just introducing, this is character X, this is him, and then you're usually able to gauge what their character arc's going to be. And you saw that, say, well, it was poor, but you can see where they're going to head, but they didn't go there.
Exactly.
It was just status quo all the time. That's all they wanted. Just keep with it. Reset button every single week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a shame because there's a few really good, well-known actors in there. Well, the Doctor, he kind of does a job in it. Ethan Phillips, like I said, he's quite a well-known actor. But sadly, he was just. It's hard to say. It's hard to say what happened there.
Blame the writers.
I do to a certain point, but there's also the actors got to take some responsibility for how a character comes across.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I really can't blame the actors here. I think it's the writing that's the problem.
Really? Yeah.
One of you said something about the transporter effect being different. Could check what the transports are like in Message in a Bottle.
All right.
Type ship as well, so it's new transporters.
But and still the Enterprise E doesn't have those transporters.
Yeah.
And that was built after Voyager.
Yeah. But anyway, that establishes Voyager. Basically, the ship is useless. It's crewed by complete utter morons. Yeah.
And Neelix.
Yeah.
And like I said, the one actually intelligent character on it doesn't actually exist. He's a hologram. So, yeah, that says everything you want to know about Voyager. The one decent person in it isn't actually real.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how to rate that. I mean, are we going to use the SF debris scale of being relevant to the series, or
I don't.
Are we just gonna...
I don't know. It's hard as
Given that none of the series would happen without that.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to rate that because
it's the pilot.
There are better episodes.
I guess one way we could rate Voyager episodes is just we just define Caretaker as a 5.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If we define that's the kind of bar. That's the average.
Yeah.
Because you say it's not. Face-palmingly awful.
5 doesn't have to be average.
It's forgettable
compared to we rate things relative to Caretaker.
Yeah, it's not like awful. It's just forgettable, which is what most of Voyager is.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, some of it is
bit of Voyager.
mind-blowing.
Voyager, Voyager did vary between forgettable and just awful at times.
Yeah. Well, it has the occasional episode that doesn't suck, but they are very few and far between.
Yeah, because it's just filled with cliches, plot points that go absolutely nowhere, huge contradictions, and not even, sometimes I could forgive Star Trek who was, something in one season that got contradicted the next, because you've got loads of writers in there, and so, they might not check everyone else's work, but Voyager was contradicted itself in a whole episode.
Yeah.
Sometimes, multiple times, it would contradict itself. There's just bad dialogue, really, just techno-babbling, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dealing with Fantastic. You've got to use techno-babble to some degree, but they just went so overboard.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just, compared to the other Star Treks, I know there's worse to come with Enterprise, but I think that just the word you can put up with this is sterile. That's how it feels.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, with Deep Space Nine, when they did a bad episode, it was still something to it. There was effort put into it. But like, let's say, Voyager's it feels sterile and lazy.
Yeah.
Like you say, you could still, even something as offensive as Profit and Lace.
Yeah.
There was some thought put into it. They were trying to put something into that, but like with bad Voyager episodes, it's just like they just did not try to do anything at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, that's our very first Voyager out the way.
Yeah.
And what's coming after that, Marty? That episode of Voyager.
Next episode, Parallax.
Yeah, you just didn't even want to say that word, did you?
That is so bad.
I go, well, when that one comes around, I think Mortimer's it's going to be you raging for 45 minutes, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Because...
because it's my field that they're raping.
Yeah. Whereas kind of when you get to Threshold, it's very unique in that I think they rape every single field of science in that.
Including the in-universe
They rape chemistry,
science.
They rape biology, they rape physics, and they even rape mathematics in it.
Yeah.
What about geology?
I don't think so.
I don't think there's any geology, but like the three major branches of science and the main tool of science, which is mathematics, they manage to rape all of that, which is really, I really have to be impressed with a show that can do that in an episode.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that was Caretaker, and we'll see you very soon. We are going to do the Battlefield Earth commentary when we can get everyone together. That's just very difficult.
Yeah, it seems like people have been...
will come at some point.
People have been busy or whatever.
Yeah. In fact, one idea I have is that there's our other podcast, Trolling with Logic, you may be aware of. We've spoken to some of the guests we've had on, and they would like to come on and do a commentary. And what we're thinking of is we get them on, we try and arrange a date for all of them, and we can do the Battlefield Earth commentary with all these wonderful people. And it'll be part of the charity show. Once the donations reach a certain amount, we'll release that commentary. Because I know some of the people I want to get in, one being Matt Dillahunty especially, if we get him in on Battlefield Earth with all its overt Scientology references, I can guarantee that's going to be the commentary of the millennia, I think.
Yeah, that would be fun. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. And I know some other people that have expressed interest in doing it, so it could be a huge panel for that one. And I think
let's not make it too big, though, because that's just going to be annoying.
Yeah, but I think that's what I'm planning to do with it. It'll be a bonus for it'll probably drive up the donations. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Plans might change. Anyway, everyone, thanks for tuning in, and then that's the start of our Voyager commentaries. So, I don't think we're not going to do Deep Space Nine because
there's nothing to complain about there. There's the occasional
and it'd just
episode,
be two fanboys talking about how awesome everything is.
That's not fun.
Though we might do a commentary on some of the worst episodes.
Yeah, we'll see.
1 or 2 of the bad episodes, but we won't do the series. Voyager, though, there's plenty of meat to get into there. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you again, or hear you again very soon. Good night.
Bye.
Oh, also, the website is now up, antimatterbandits.com, and there's a blog there. There'll be some written reviews, so enjoy all that, and we'll see you later.